Hey guys, so we're back with another video, and the dish we're going to be making today is one of my favorite desserts, which is apple pie. So we'll be making it from scratch. We'll make the dough for the crust and then we'll move on to the filling. So let's begin by making the dough for the crust. The ingredients that you see here are going to be used to make the dough for our crust. Now the most important thing is that each of these ingredients needs to be very cold. So I have just removed them from the refrigerator. Here is 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, half a tablespoon of refined sugar, half teaspoon of salt, and this is a little less than 250 grams of unsalted butter. And here I have around 6 to 8 tablespoons of ice cold water. Now we're going to combine these using this food processor, and I'll show you how. I'll begin by adding my all-purpose flour, refined sugar, and the salt. Now just combine them. So our first three ingredients have combined well. I've diced this butter into small cubes. And I'm adding this to my food processor. We're going to stir this until it becomes about the size of peas. We'll check this now, and as you can see, it has become the size of peas, so it's time to add our water. We'll add around 6 to 8 tablespoons of ice water. And stir it again. So this is done now. Take a look at this. It's crumbled and this is just how we want it to be. I'm going to place all of this on a plastic wrap. So this is what our dough looks like. Don't knead the dough at all, just bring it together. We're going to divide it into two parts. Use half of it for the lower crust and the other half for the upper one. Wrap it well using your plastic wrap. So here my dough is ready. I'm going to place this in the refrigerator for an hour. So while my dough is resting in the fridge, I'm going to begin with my filling. I'm using 4 apples of this size, golden apples, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, half a bowl of refined sugar, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, about a quarter of a teaspoon of salt, a pinch of nutmeg powder, half a teaspoon of cinnamon powder, and this orange that you see here, we're going to be using it to make orange zest, and I'll show you how. Now basically orange zest is the outer part of the orange peel. This orange part that you see here, orange colored portion, this is what we want. So we are going to carefully grate this. Now while grating this, you have to be very careful because you don't want to grate the white part. I think you can see, I'll show you. So this white part, you don't want this to come in your zest because it has a very bitter taste. You might be wondering why I'm not using orange juice and using zest instead. So the reason is that orange juice brings along a lot of moisture along with flavor. So if I want concentrated flavor and aroma along with less moisture, orange zest is what I use. Now I've peeled the outer part of my orange, and this is what my orange looks like. And this is the zest that we have. Now it may seem very less, but since it's a potent powerhouse of flavor and aroma, it's going to be more than enough.
After cutting the apples, here we have some thinly sliced apples. So now we are gonna mix all the other ingredients into it. This is all-purpose flour, lemon juice, orange zest, sugar, cinnamon powder, nutmeg powder, and some salt. Let's mix them together now. So it's nicely mixed now and our filling is ready.
So I've taken out the dough from the refrigerator and removed it from the plastic wrap, and we're going to roll it out now. So before doing that, as you can see, I've sprinkled some all-purpose flour on my platform and some on my rolling pin as well, so that it doesn't stick while I'm rolling it out. So let's begin. So our dough is evenly rolled out now, and we're going to place it in our baking pan. Before we do that, we're going to spray some non-stick spray into this so that it doesn't stick to the surface while baking. And let's gently place our dough in the pan. So this is how we place it. So this excess part that you see that has come out of the pan, don't worry about it. We're going to be using it for the crimping later on. Now let's put our filling into this. Place it evenly all around. Now that the filling's in, roll out the other piece of dough just like we did with the first one. So our second piece of dough is also rolled out. So this is how we cut it into strips. So we've cut out strips in the dough that we have prepared for our upper crust. And now using these slices, we are going to prepare a lattice on top of this pie. So carefully watch how I do this. Space them out a little. So don't worry if it breaks a little, just press it a little over there. Now take back the second and the fourth. And place a strip right there. Okay, so we formed our lattice, and now this excess that you have here, leave a little bit and cut out the rest. We'll now move on to crimping these edges. So first what we are going to do is this excess part, just tuck it inside your baking pan. And now crimp it like this. So this is how it should look like once you've crimped it. Now using this brush, I'm going to apply this egg wash very generously over the top, and this is going to give it a beautiful brown color while it's baking. So I've applied this egg wash now. It's ready to go into the oven, and we're going to keep it in the oven for an hour. I've preheated the oven at 220 degrees Celsius, and we're going to place it in it for about an hour. So I've just taken out the apple pie from the microwave oven, and this is what it looks like. Can you see the brown color? The beautiful brown color, and the apple juice is coming out. So this is perfect, and I know it looks very tempting, but make sure you do not cut into it for at least half an hour after removing it from the microwave oven. So this way the apple juices will thicken, and when you cut into it, it won't fall apart. So let it cool down for at least 30 minutes and then cut into it. It's ready to be served then. You can serve it with some ice cream, cheddar cheese or whipped cream as well.